Speaking of true love, though, at Christmas, my next guests have written the perfect holiday love story. It's called White Out, and it's a collaboration between 6 of the most successful Black female authors in young adult fiction. 2 of them are with us now. Please welcome Angie Thomas and Nicola Yoon, everybody. So, meet Poppy, meet Linda. Nice to meet you. With 6 authors, who writes what? How do you choose that?
Well, Danielle is our Tony Stark, the brains behind the operation.
Right?
Yeah, she likes to say she has executive skills.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
We say she's bossy.
Yeah,
A little bit
she's
bossy. Yeah.
bossy. But she was, with Blackout, she saw that there were all these, there was a lack of stories about Black kids falling in love, and her niece wanted that. And so she said, you know, why don't we all take a trope and write it? Because these are, you know, like, best friends falling in love, enemies to lovers, these sort of things. We don't get to see Black kids doing that a lot.
Yeah.
And so she assigned us tropes, and she was like, all right, this is what I want you to do. And so we did the same thing with White Out. And it was just so much fun getting to, you know, write these stories about these different kids, and they're all connected. So it's not, we call it a novel as opposed to an anthology.
With chapters instead of like short stories.
Yeah,
right? Because they're all connected and they're all leading to one big goal.
Oh, this reminds me of like Love Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, how they
Yes.
all, and it's like one of my favorite films ever.
Yes.
And I love when films do that or stories do that. It somehow all ties together at
Right.
the end. That's so clever.
Right. And it's like kind of a little mystery. You don't know how it's going to fit together. And it's such a nice payoff when you see it
Yeah.
come together. And it's a big, like there's a lot of kissing in this book.
Yeah.
It's like a big
Nothing
romantic.
wrong with that,
Oh,
Nicola.
God.
Nothing wrong with
The
the
more
smooch.
kissing, the better.
Yeah. So both of you write with teen readers in mind. So what stories inspire you? Is it like maybe kids you know, like maybe she said her niece, right? Is how this all kind of happened, right?
Yeah. I'm inspired just by young people in general. They are so amazing. We have to give this generation credit.
Yeah.
And you know, and there's so many types of stories you can tell about them. So many have so many different experiences. And I think as adults, we would be doing them a disservice if we only told one kind of story.
Yeah.
And so it's respecting them, respecting what they love, respecting that they fall in love, you know, respecting that they, you know, have arguments and that they have their drama, whatever it may be, respecting that and saying, you know what, I'm going to give you a mirror. Here you go. You're awesome. Hopefully I show you how awesome you are a little bit more.
And you have the opportunity to represent so many different kinds of people, because all the stories, you know, they come together, but you know, just like in Love Actually, there's so many different, you know, lives going on, so many different walks of life. That's kind of cool too.
Well, I mean, what happens, I think, when you see stories with Black kids, you see the same kind of story, right? But Black kids fall in love. Like, I fell in love every day as a child, like a teenager, right?
You are my daughter.
Right. So we fall in love, we're vulnerable, we like kissing, we fall in love with ourselves, we deserve forgiveness and second chances. You know, we deserve the big, swoony, aspirational love story, and we don't see enough of those. So this is our love letter to those kids to say, hey, we know you fall in love. Like we did too.
They want to see themselves though in that story.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's so cool. Backstage, we have a teenage writer who says Angie and Nicola are her 2 favorite authors. She thinks she's here to talk about her book club, which we shall cover. But she has no idea they read one of her short stories and have plenty of feedback. So we're going to ask Angie and Nicola to hide during the break, behind a Christmas tree perhaps. But stick around. You don't want to miss this surprise. It's going to be so cool. So my next guest is a 10th grader and member of the Breed Love Readers Book Club in Syracuse, New York. It's a book club specifically for young Black girls featuring a diverse range of authors. She's also an aspiring writer, because I was not this cool as a sophomore, but whatever. Please welcome Gabrielle, everybody. Meet Linda, meet Poppy.
Nice to meet you.
So it's so cool. You're like in 10th grade, you're part of this cool book club. So tell me, like, what do y'all read? What is the book club like?
The book club is a Black girl book club for girls in Central New York, where we come together and we just share our experiences. We read, we write, we incorporate art projects into it all. And I knew it was perfect for me because my dad is a retired pro basketball player, and we traveled all across Europe. We lived in Russia, Greece, Italy, Croatia, and France.
What a childhood.
Yes, yes it was.
Yeah.
It was very fun. And during that time, I didn't really have a constant. So reading was that constant for me.
That's so cool. So what are some of the books that y'all have read?
We have read American Street by Eboy Zabo.
Yeah.
We have read Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite is Blackout, which was written by 6 different authors. 2 of them happen to be my favorite authors. Angie Thomas, actually, she wrote The Hate You Give.
I've read that,
And the main character, as you know, Star, she goes to a predominantly white school. And I happen to go to a predominantly white school, too. So just seeing a girl who
You
has...
saw yourself in the character.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
saw myself in this character.
That's incredible. Wow. So, well, I have 2 people backstage who have actually read Gabrielle's short story, because you wrote a short story, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Called The Deadly Scavenger Hunt. It's
Yeah.
about a girl who has to compete to get a scholarship for college.
It's okay. So, well, both are #1 New York Times best-selling authors, and 4 of their books have been turned into movies, so they're pretty good at what they do. They're what we call a whole lot of woman. So, Angie Thomas and Nicola Yoon, come on out! You like ended with Blackout. I was like, all right, segue. Have a seat. Oh my gosh. So both of you read Gabrielle's short story. So
Yes.
any feedback? What are you thinking?
Oh my God, that twist, that cliffhanger,
Oh my God, you got us.
yeah, you got us. Like, oh my goodness, I could not write anything like that at 15. Your dialogue is amazing. Your character development, your twist, all of that, like, you got it.
Yeah, you really do. The suspense, like I flew through that thing. And at the end, I was like,
We won't spoil it.
I was like, don't you spoiler alert, because
will not.
I want to read it. So I like a twist at the
Yes.
end. So what do you want to say to these authors that have inspired you?
Just thank you for your contribution to the world and just showing Black girls that we can do it too.
yes, we can.
I know you write, Poppy. Like, what would you give advice, like, on, just being a young writer? What do you think is good advice?
I mean, in the presence of extraordinary writers, I'm like, what your life sounds like it's been so fascinating already, and you've got so much to tell. My movie, our movie, is about my real life, and I sort of tend to stick to what I know. And not be afraid to tell the truth about it, because there's some skeletons in the closet. That'll be in the sequel to the first movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not to be ashamed of the things you think people would judge. That's sort of the stuff that you tend to want to throw out there.
It's more relatable as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody, remember to pick up a copy of Whiteout wherever books are sold. But for everyone in our audience, you're so lucky. You don't have to do a thing because you're all going home with a copy of Whiteout.